What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. If you've been here before, I'm NeonMushroom. We're playing this deck that I do not have the qualifications to play. This is Responsible Joseph's blue-white toolbox deck. I'm not sure what I'm going to call it in the thumbnail, but it's a toolbox deck. It's a deck that, let's just run through the list, because this is a deck that kind of looks like a combination between like Flippy, Dissolution, Standstill. So the mana base is the first place I want to look because it's going to set up explaining Weathered Wayfarer. 3 Wastelands, a single Skycloud Expanse for fixing off of the colorless lands, a Secluded Steppe, 3 Plains, 4 Mishra's Factories, 2 Islands, 4 Flooded Strands, 2 Faerie Conclaves, 1 Dust Bowl, and 4 Adarkar Wastes. It looks like the Standstill mana base with Wastelands, Steppe added to it. And why is that? Why is that when we have so many creatures? Well, we've got Mox Diamonds because we're playing Weathered Wayfarer. This is a card that's going to let us search for lands. So if we're playing against a matchup that has a bunch of non-basic lands, we can get into this motif of they play a land, we activate Weathered Wayfarer, get Wasteland, crack it, and keep doing that every turn for every time we have a Wasteland. You actually will have seen that in a recent video I did with Billy from Duress Crew, where I was playing Counterburn and he was playing Wug Spec. If you can do that, you're able to collect a bunch of lands in your hand and set up an Armageddon turn, because we're playing an Armageddon in the main and an Armageddon in the side. We've also got 2 Ramosian Sergeants who go to get Whipcorders, a couple Disenchants, and 4 Swords to Plowshares. Why am I naming these cards specifically? This deck has a very good Dreadnought matchup, also something to keep in mind. 2 mana leaks, 2 memory lapse, no counter spells because blue is a tall order in this deck. Standstill is great because we have all these cool mana sink cards that do stuff without us casting spells. So if we can get Weathered Wayfarer or Ramosian Sergeant into play and follow it up with a Standstill, we'll have things to do, and our opponent will have to crack the Standstill. So we'll draw 3 cards for 2 mana, which is a great rate. The 3rd accumulated knowledge is one of the best accumulated knowledges. 4 Meddling Mage, it's in our colors, it's very good, it's strong against Dreadnought. A single Powder Keg, some toolboxy stuff, 1 Reverent Mantra, a really good card in a lot of matchups and a really bad card in a lot of matchups. But it's a really cool one of, and it's one of those cards that you kind of just randomly win a game because your opponent goes all in on a line and you go Reverent Mantra pro red or whatever, and then they're all tapped out and you just hit them for lethal back. 3 Exalted Angels, best card in the deck, not close. The sideboard's full of some pretty cool cards, some stuff I want to dive into because I've tested this deck a little bit. Hibernation, kind of a weird looking selection. This is so good against elves. Not just because it obviously upheavals them, but if you can time your Hibernation against elves because your deck has a clock, it usually just converts into a win. Teferi's Response, very stock one of in sideboards with super toolboxy mana bases. Divert is a new one to the channel actually. It's basically misdirection, but it costs a blue, and it functions like Quench. They can pay 2 to stop it from happening. It's really good in the Dreadnought matchup and a few different control matchups. Blue Blast, Crypt, Furnace, Powder Keg, all stock. Absolute Law, Cop Red, Disenchant. Serenity is a cool choice here. It's going to be pretty good against Enchantress. And then another Enchantress killer is Dawning Purist, a 2/2 that morphs so it can do a cosplay as a Whipcorder or a Exalted Angel. And when it deals combat damage to a player, you can destroy target enchantment that player controls. It's pretty sweet. Don't expect me to 5-0 this league or anything. This deck's really hard, but I'm putting it through its paces because I really want to learn it because I am addicted to decks that give you this feeling of agency. Let's hop into the league. Alrighty, round 1, and we're on the play, which is right where we want to be unless we have Weathered Wayfarer, which we don't. This hand is a Standstill hand. I'm going to keep this and we're about to do something really dirty. You guys ready to see the dirt? Opponent mulligans to 6. Mangu had some, for anyone who's watching this on YouTube, we're just chatting about the shuffle up and play from the Tolarian Community College, the prof. Reed Duke, Rebel, Andrea Mangucci, all-star cast. You guys got to go watch that. If you haven't seen the shuffle up and play for some reason, because maybe you don't follow the professor or something, it might be the best paper pre-modern gameplay on the internet now. It's so good. It's 4 matches. Oh my God. I might actually steal part of that formula of these super long form pre-modern like tournament series. Okay, I'm going to play a turn 1 Standstill for starters. What's the other land I want to play? Mishra's Factory, Mox Diamond, cast. We'll pitch the island just in case the diamond gets dealt with at some point. And here is a Standstill. Yield. Isn't Soltari Visionary now 100 times better than Dawning Purist? No. Dawning Purist can block, which you don't really want to do with it, obviously. But Dawning Purist is also a creature with morph. This is very important, very specifically, because, Adarkar Wastes into attack, or do we wait? No, we start getting busy. It has morph. So your deck's already full of Exalted Angels and Whipquarters. So the other Soltari card, if I'm not mistaken, that's white, correct? Which is already a tall order. This thing is white 2 and morphs, so it cosplays as a Whipcorder or whatever. Oh, that is a nice island choice from opponent. Very true. I'm probably gonna have to wait to do videos like that till I move to the new studio. I physically can't fit 4 people in this one. So late this year, probably. All right, Flooded Strand. So I thought it was Dreadnought, but now it might be Landstill. Fetch for sure. They're doing something. Watch them play their own Standstill. Meddling Mage for sure. All right, you've got a mage. What's up? What are you playing off that mage? Swords to Plowshares. If you name Swords to Plowshares, you're about to have an awful time. I have an Angel. But if they don't name Swords to Plowshares, I am in fact going to Swords to Plowshares that Meddling Mage. Oh, they named Standstill. That's intelligent. So the way they played this out makes me think they're Grow. I actually want them to daze this. So they can't daze the morph on my Exalted Angel. They did not do that though. Okay. Untap draw, Weathered Wayfarer. I don't think we're doing that this game. I think we're instead, well, they could have swords. Maybe it's just actually, maybe it's white Weathered Wayfarer into Standstill number 2. What do we think about this opponent? All right, resolving 2 Standstills in the first 3 turns is pretty good. Shocker. Opponent's basic choices are fire. 100% agree. Portal. These are portal basics. They are goated. I cannot even front. Those look gorgeous. However, the Flooded Strand choice, abysmal. But this makes up for it. I think I have to put my opponent on Grow. Portal has amazing basic land art for sure. Oh, Polluted Delta. Maybe they're on Fincula. But if you don't do anything, I'm going to punish you really, really hard. Activate. Combat. I'm missing my land drop, so I'd rather hold up Wayfarer. Because if this is Fincula, they're going to have to make their 4th land drop, which is going to let me spin my Wayfarer. Pass the turn, probably just for another Mutavault. Oh, they're going to crack it now? Oh, phenomenal. Okay, so I will draw 3 off the Standstill. And where's this going? On my Wayfarer? Would I interact with that? I've got so many lands now. No, that's gone. You got it. Continue. Do we go Sergeant now, or do we go Wayfarer? Let's take a draw and see what we think we want to do. Mishra's Factory number 2. Let's go Sergeant. This kind of smells like Fincula to me. Land white. Sergeant? Hold up Lapse plus Mana Leak? That way I can fight like Factor Fiction into Angel or whatever. All right, the big question is, do we extend? I don't think we do. I think we play really conservatively since we're up resources. I don't think we're required to lay on any type of trades that we're not interested in making. Profound, what's up, baby? You fetch. I would like this to be a Factor Fiction. Countering this would probably significantly decrease our opponent's chances of winning. Their position will be significantly worsened. If this is an STP, we let it go. They're burning their STPs on our 1-drops. We'll take it. Now I might even forego land drop and just play Wayfarer. White. Black. Gerard's Verdict. Ooh. Psychotog. Well, let's go ahead and open up on a Mana Leak. They are representing Counterspell. I will probably have to Memory Lapse the Counterspell and just Windmill Slam the Exalted Angel. I think that's the line. All right, you can put that Counterspell back on top of your deck so you can draw it after I've already resolved Exalted Angel. Deal? Deal. Wow, not playing that Weathered Wayfarer was pretty good. My cautious tendency to play the game really paid off for us there. All right, I'm just casting this now. That way if they've randomly got like a Smother or something, there's no chance I get got. Now it's the card they have in their hand plus the Counterspell. And I have this Angel. Do you have your 3rd Swords to Plowshares? No? Good talk. Untap draw. I'm going to lay on the pressure now, like really hard. Activate Factory. Activate Factory. Fetch. Get an Island. Activate Faerie Conclave. Combat. Tenue. They've got a Counterspell in their hands, so we're just not going to cast spells. We're not letting them convert that. Boom. I'll gain 4. Good luck, opponent. They should concede here. I don't think a single card can pull them out of this. Portent? Yeah, for sure, dude. Yeah, I think our next FNM series is going to be based around this deck, but I want to represent this deck well. So I'm going to... Would you guys be comfortable with like 2 leagues with the same deck in the course of 7 days? I feel like people would dislike that, but that would... I would like that. Okay, turn this on. Brother, I'm doing it again. Oh, opponent says GG, GG. All right, begin sideboarding. Cataclysm saves him. It's true. But I have a diamond, so they're still on like a 2-turn clock, right? I'm putting them on Fincula. It could be like Esper Tog, but it's like, those are very close to the same deck. They're just like the lack of Finkel, I guess. So what's good? Absolute Law is not. Cop Red is not. Disenchant, probably not. Serenity, no. Dawning Purist, no. Armageddon is likely to be good. Blue Elemental Blasts are not. Divert is likely to be good. These are not. I like Phyrexian Furnace. Powder Keg is unlikely to be what I'm looking for. I guess Powder Keg on 3 is probably pretty good, but I think the 1 in my main is enough. And I don't know if we're interested in Tormod Script. We're on the draw, so Weathered Wayfarer is still well above rate. Disenchants, I'm gonna go shields down with Disenchant. If we get got by Dystopia, there's no way they play Dystopia because they have Meddling Mages in their deck. So I'm just gonna assume my enchantment removal is dead. You know what? Human? No, I think that's fine. I think if they want to play fucking whatchamacallit, Engineered Plague on Human, we're okay with it. We just kind of roll with it. It just kills the Ramosian Sergeants and the Weathered Wayfarers. And then we'll keep in 1 Disenchant. Now that I'm talking, I've got myself wigged out. I think I want 1 Disenchant. I want the range of 1 Disenchant being in my deck. That's still probably fine. Reverent Mantra. I think it's probably actually good here. Let's take out a single Mana Leak. On the draw, it feels like I'm going to have trouble converting it. And then maybe a Standstill. maybe a Sergeant. Maybe it's just a Sergeant. Maybe this is okay. I don't know. I feel like I'm even overboarding with just these 3 cards. Is enchantment removal ever dead post board? Usually no, but this deck is not Psychotog. They play humans as well. So if this is in fact Finkula and not just an Espertog list, then Engineered Plague on Humans going to nullify their Shadow Mage Infiltrator, make their mages worse, and it's just going to make my mages and Whipquarters worse. It's only going to kill my 1-drops. So I'm going to keep in 1 Disenchant to hedge that maybe they're not Finkula, but I want to be careful. Artifacts, I'm not sure what artifacts our opponent's playing. Like in this matchup, if it was straight up Tog, there would be no artifacts brought in this matchup. Yeah, but you got to think about what the hate cards are. Like one of the best hate cards versus us is Dystopia, and that fucks them up too. So I don't think that's coming in. This hand contains a Swords to Plowshares, a Meddling Mage, and an Armageddon with good lands. I'll keep it. You Portent, I pass. I don't think I need to have swords up. So I think Faerie Conclave's safe. Unless I draw like Wayfarer, then it's just like, okay, here's my Wayfarer. Do you have it? A Wayfarer in play for more than 3 turns in this matchup is likely to win the game on its own. It just gets way too many utility lands, too many wastelands. It draws 3 or 4 cards. All right, you draw off Portent, which is fine. Is that a Wayfarer? No, it's a Conclave. Here's a Conclave. Go. What do we name off Mage? It depends. If they're going to Mage here, I would almost name Mage. Because I think my Mage wants to name Psychotog. Ooh, little Sabo's Web? Okay. Disenchant target located. And they probably have 2. And our hand is literally full of these things. Okay, it's still fine. We're just going to play a Strand and chill. But now I think maybe Dawning Purist looks pretty... No, Dawning Purist only hits enchantments. So yeah, just keep a second Disenchant in. This should be a Mage. If our opponent's unsure of what matters, they may name Swords. So not F6. I'll let them name before I decide whether I'm fetching. Because if they don't name Swords, I'm likely to Swords this. And if they name like... It depends on what they name. If they name Swords, I play Mage naming Psychotog. And if they name like Meddling Mage, I Swords it. And if they name anything else, I've got like tons of questions. Powder Keg's also a good out here. Powder Keg might be my best draw. Then I would just play Powder Keg and ship the turn. So let's see here. Now that we know there's Sabo's Web, it does change the texture of what we want our deck to look like. So I think Powder Keg in, a second Disenchant in, highly unlikely we want the next one. They name Meddling Mage, so we're gonna Swords that thing. And that's probably it. We need to think about what we're taking out. If we lose this game, we're on the play, so a Weathered Wayfarer can go. That one's easy. Here's my planes. You can go. Oh, it's naming Mana Leak? Yeah, I'm still going to hit it. Take a draw. Disenchant. Ooh, we'll just do that. That was way too lucky to not just do it. We have a ton of lands that thing hits, so Disenchant the Sabo's Web. The most detrimental thing we could see here would be a Psychotog. If they gush here, then yeah, they're on Espertog, not Finkula. Okay. So this means that Engineered Plague is as much more likely to be in their range because they don't have Finkle. There's the city. Toggy Tog? Toggy Tog. Yeah, you got it, buddy. All right, we're looking for Swords to Plowshares number 2. Divert's pretty good. Let's go Mishra's Factory and then use this to change the factory mana into Meddling Mage mana. And then we're going to name Counterspell. And then we will pass and hope that they Swords to Plowshares or Meddling Mage. They didn't. Rats. All right, they've already gushed. So what's their range here? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. If they dump everything, it's 15, right? 12, 13, 14, 15. Yeah, if they dump everything, it's 15. So I do not need to block here. Gush isn't in range. Fact or Fiction isn't in range. And now it's down to 14.5. No, 13.5. So we can just take this attack. Tap for 3. Is this another Toggy Tog? Defensive Tog, offensive Tog. I like it. Untap draw, Mox Diamond. That's pretty solid. What's the over-under on Geddon? Low. I think my lands are better than my opponent's right now. Let's go Mishra's Factory and then pop a Mox Diamond off, pitching a Faerie Conclave, and ship the... Attacking with Faerie Conclave actually seems fine here. Let's go blue-white, tap this to make it, activate here. Do not wonder me, opponent. Hiya. So now we'd like to get a Ramosian Sergeant. That's another card we're bringing back in. If they're this deep on Tog, then Whipquarters just blow them out. So now they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 and a half, 13, 14 and a half points of damage. Unless they play an island, then it is lethal. However, I cannot play around the Gush. I can't afford to lose my Meddling Mage here. And there's 2 Psychotogs, so I'd have to double block. If they have Gush, we're dead. We'll move on to the next game. I'll take 1. All right, my turn. Great. On tap. Draw an Armageddon. Not what we want. Let's go ahead and do the thing we've been doing. Let's keep pressure on. Combat. Doink. And then you may go. Now that we know they're Tog and they have Gushes, my Armageddons look worse too. So we'll get those out. They're also very likely to have diamonds of their own. All right, their range now is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So we can take this hit. If there's a Gush, it's 19-5, so we're dead if they have Gush. All right, deck, show me the money on tap draw. It's an island. That's not money. But we will continue trying to position ourselves to be able to race. Attack for 2. Damage, you go to 13. We like it. I'm going to hold this island in case Armageddon becomes something we're actually interested in the future. Not that I think I have a future. They should kill us 3 turns from now, unless they have Gush and they've been sandbagging it. White. Swords to Plowshares. I don't want to show them the Divert, and I think, you know what? We'll let it go. Yeah, it's gone. You're up. Gemstone Mine. So their range is now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.5, 10, 11, 12. With a Gush that pushes it up. I wonder if we need to start trying to absorb some of their damage equity. Go to blocks, block. The goal is just to get them to burn up some of their fuel for the Togs, so I can continue to try to play a longer game. Exile 2 for sure. Pump this to itself. All right, you got it. That's a dead Mishra's Factory, good buddy. After they draw, they'll have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 and a half. 11 and a half's not even close. But a Gush, like, ooh. Tap. Phyrexian Furnace. That worked. Okay, activate. Okay, island. Make this into manas. Tap here. Activate. We race. We try to blink Gush for as long as possible and race. If they find Gush, we're dead as a doornail anyway. So, and I can't keep losing my manlands, otherwise I just die to their fair plan. So the gambit now is our opponent doesn't have Gush. That's the angle we're playing towards. Here comes 2 mana. Disenchant. Yeah, that's fine. No response. Take 2. That's -1 point of damage. Red Blast. Okay. Ooh, Fire Ice. No response. That's dead. So now we're in the get Exalted Angel into play zone. Now they're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 points of damage with Gush that actually doesn't bring them to lethal. They're actually outside of Gush being lethal zone here. Yield through turn. They should pump a Psychotog right now, so my Phyrexian Furnace doesn't deny them damage. Correct. Smart opponent. All right, we see a Wasteland. Interesting. Okay, we're going to play out the Wasteland, and I think we'll get them. Yeah, we'll get their City of Brass, I think. No, their Gemstone Mine. It's out for a blue, for sure. Combat. All right, eats at the bottom. You may go Floody Woody. Combat. All right, this isn't close to lethal. They should just deal 2 here. And then I go. Untap. Diamond doesn't help. We pass. I'm so late. I missed the cards in the deck at the beginning. Armageddon is quite the tool. It is. However, I went in thinking that this was Dump Truck, and it is Esper Tog. All right, you fetched. Eat that, please. Continue. We're like less than 5% to win this game, I think. AK for sure. All right, do we eat the AK now? I think we might. But this forces them to either cast another AK, or yeah, this just works. Okay, Powder Keg. That is technically on the list of cards that makes it possible. Though now they're looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.5, 8, 9 damage. So if there's a Gush, it's very lethal. Ooh, Duress is tough. They're going to take the Keg now. And they see the Divert. Or opponent. Gush is lethal. If you show it, you know my hand as well. So if you show me the Gush, I do a big concede and don't make you click a bunch of buttons. But you don't have it. Okay. On tap. So Armageddon actually kills me now. All right, that's an Adarkar Wastes. We have seen enough. We're so far ahead on time, I'm not going to bother forcing our opponent to burn some more clock. And now we know a little bit more about what we're up against. So let's say Powder Keg. Let's say Mana Leak's actually pretty good on the play. Ramosian Sergeant's phenomenal. And I want another Disenchant. As far as what we don't want on the play, Weathered Wayfarer is quite a bit worse. They saw the Divert. I think it's going to be pretty tricky to convert the Divert, but I think it might be fine. Armageddon looks poor. And then I think on the play, I almost want to remove the Divert on the play. I want to be a little bit more insistent on my own game plan, probably. Although, yeah, the thing about diverting Swords to Plowshares is that they already have to have a Tog in play. So let's bring these in and submit. I wonder why our opponent's tanking and sideboarding. I don't think we showed them anything necessarily different about our deck that they saw from game 1. While they're taking their sweet time, I'm going to go refresh my coffee. I'll be back. Cheers, stream. Okay, we're on the play this time. Let's do it. This hand's pretty bad, right? Just a turn 1 diamond into nothing, mulligan. Ooh, it's tricky, right? Because we have the Sergeant, but we don't have any white sources. And if they Sabos web us, we look like absolute idiots. Memory Lapse is good because it's only 1 blue pip and it's a time walk a lot of the time. Yep. What are we seeing here? What are your other opinions besides Memory Lapse, or do you specifically want them to draw the same card? Meddling Mage Memory Lapse is a good combination, right? This hand simply lacks a white source. I think we're going to 5. The other option's to just keep it and like ball. Phyrexian Furnace is pretty meaningful in a matchup that has... Chat, what do we think? My thinking is I don't have white, so all I'm doing with this hand is morphing Angel and playing Phyrexian Furnace. I've got 2 factories, so if they don't have the Sabos web, we look pretty good. And if we draw the white source, our hand like breaks in half. It looks really, really good. But also we just don't have a white source. Chat votes. What do we think? I'm leaning towards keeping it, but that's because I'm afraid to go to 5 in a resource dense matchup. Risk it for the biscuit. You are a slave to a top deck plans. What else we got? Furnace, you're fine. I think it's risky. I think it's super duper risky. I think we're keeping though. And I think we're going to ship Meddling Mage. I think that Ramosian Sergeant is generally better than Meddling Mage. If we can get Whipquarters into play, their clock is just essentially gone. All right, pitch Meddling Mage. Let's do it. We're both on 6. I'm actually going to open on the factory. That's why I pitched the Meddling Mage, because I knew I wanted to do this. Here's a Furnace, and you may go. Magic Applegate, subscribe with Prime. Thanks for this Prime sub, buddy. All right, they're just passing. Yield through turn. Whipcorder. That's actually another solid one. Let's go Islands, and let's get in. Saba's Web's going to destroy us, but that's just the way it has to be, I think. Combat, bring you to 18, pass the turn. Yeah, it's Namu, I agree, it's tricky. Like, if I was on the draw, I think I even would have just mulliganed to 5 for Weathered Wayfarer equity. But this, going to 5 on the play, I'm so resource light that, like, our opponent's single piece of interaction they kept in their hand is going to steamroll and roll us over. I think we just want to, like, keep these manlands, hope they don't have Saba's Web, and grind. There's a city. Do we have the web? Looks like no web. But I also don't want to give up a factory to an STP. So, white source off the top is the first check. No white source. So we'll play factory, and I think we're going to morph this Whipcorder, actually. All right, pass the turn. Tap for a red, we want to fire? Yeah, this is the card we want fired for sure, over the Exalted Angel. It's dead. There's a Delta. Is it Tog time? Or do they miss on Tog? That would be really good for us if they missed on Tog. Also, YouTube, if you're watching this in the Fluorescent Fungus channel and not live, definitely let me know in the comments if you would have went to 5 or kept that 6. I think it's close. Because we're obviously stuck with 3 white cards in our hand and not a single white source to speak of. Yes, you've taken 1 from white. Are you Disenchanting Furnace? Meddling Mage, for sure. I wonder what they name. Standstill? Mana Leak? Can't be STP. That would be insane. Yeah, it's Mana Leak. All right, they're passing the turn. We're eating the bottom. On tap, white source? Well, when there's a plan, right? Activate. Do I want to trade a factory? I don't believe that I do. So, factory. Combat. Attack. All right, pump. Wait, we'll let that pump resolve first, and then pump. Yield through turn. Tick 4. Web here, I think we concede. We're probably forced to keep playing, but it's like, it's tricky. 1, 2, we gushing? Is that where we're at? Okay, eat the bottom. Yield. I definitely would not have mulligan to 5, mostly because I play paper and I'm too lazy to shuffle again. Yeah, that ain't me. Saba's Web is super main deckable. There's Keg. Well, we're fine with a Keg. We can take 2. There's a Standstill. Let's eat the bottom. And let's jam, force a counterspell, annul, no problem. I think I must play into STP now. If they want to blow their Keg, that's fine. The STP is going to be the real sad one. Attack, yield through turn. I think they pop the Keg now. That's phenomenal. That means our other 2 factories aren't keggable. Yield through. We might be approaching the point where we need to like spin our Furnace. Because if we can draw a white source, we're still like in really good shape. And step on tap, draw. Oh, well, I'll take it. White source. Do we get in? I think I need to force let's activate the Furnace, eat the bottom. I think I need to force my opponent to keep interacting so they can't like cast spells to develop their hand. So let's go morph and yield. This should eat a counter. AK, really? Okay. It eats an AK. Do you have a daze? All right, must have swords. If this flips and they don't have interaction, it's like lights out. I think they've used too many resources for Tog to do the thing. STP? STP, makes sense. After this, we just like hope they don't have another one. Jam Ramosian Sergeant. 4 in hand. Yield through turn. Draw a Keg. White. Ramosian Sergeant. 1, 2. Powdered Keg. All right, opponent. Show me your Fire Ice or STP. They literally can't let me spin this Sergeant, I don't think. Is it FOF time? Is that where we're at? Or is it just STP? It's just STP. Okay, we'll take that. Let's eat the bottom right now, just so we don't forget to. Continue. How many gushes have we seen? Just the 1, so they probably have another one on their hand by this point. For anyone wondering why we're playing Secluded Steppe, it's an interesting one. Because of the Weathered Wayfarer, it allows us to have a card in our deck that lets us go Wayfarer, ooh, web. There's the fucking web. That's, well, Keg to 2, I guess is the plan now. Our plan is to use Wayfarer to spin into that to use it to draw a card. That's the actual factual plan. Gush is fine. The way they played that, I think they drew Gush off the Saba's Web, which is pretty unlucky for us. Island. For sure. Toggy Tog? Yeah, looks like they're Toggy Togging. Luckily, they've cast enough STP. Oh, Duress. That misses. All right, we'll yield through. Now they have to find Disenchant before I find, like, Counterspell. Their hand contains Island. I will yield to this trigger and always, not always yes, but in this case, yes. Faerie Conclave. Do we get it into play? I can't see a world where we don't. Faerie Conclave, activate this Furnace because the bottom card is an AK right now. And then we're forced to ship through the turn and hope they don't have Disenchant. Disenchant fucks us up really, really bad. Island, 5 mystery cards in hand. Attackers, they go through combat. That was weird. Oh, so I can't block with Factory maybe? Next turn, this will tick up. All right, there's a Dust Bowl. I guess we'll be playing that. Activating this Furnace and then passing the turn. You could Disenchant yourself even if you hold it for another web. You could use Disenchant yourself even. Yeah. If we we would be happy to draw a Disenchant here. All right, it's time to pop this keg and then go to our turn. There's an Adarkar Wastes. We'll play it. We will activate Furnace. We will, I think we're going to Dust Bowl, sacking something. Adarkar Wastes. Nope, not, probably just basic island, to be honest. Yeah, hit the City of Brass, tap 1, 2, 3, sacrifice a basic island, pop the city. I want to restrict their ability to cast the card Psychotog. Their colored mana sources are important. Here's my Weathered Wayfarer. Back to basics is very much legal, yes. And I think we're getting in. I can't do nothing. And if they're going to use a swords or a fire ice, I'd rather it be on the factory than my Wayfarer, I think. Because I'm going to have to use a bunch of lands to deal damage, and they're probably going to keep removing them. So, pass to you, opponent. Ooh, they can cast Tog still. That's tough. Is that what we see? We see a Tog, but it's an incredibly anemic Tog, which is really good for us. Attackers, end step, my turn. On tap, draw. That's a diamond. Eat the bottom. This, ooh, sacking the island was a mistake, maybe. It's too late to rectify that now. Blue, colorless, activate the Conclave. Combat, attack. Yeah, we are on the sunsetting point of this game. The next few plays are all that matters. Gush 3 would be problematic here for sure. Attacking here might be, yeah, that's suicidal, right? Pass to me, untap. I draw another Wayfarer. Let's eat the bottom. Let's keep doing that. I could attack with both factories, but I don't think that's the route we're going to take. We're going to roll it low and slow. Blue, colorless, combat, beep, STP, STP, gonzo. All right, another Weathered Wayfarer. Next turn, I think we attack with everything. Activate factory, force them to have the answer on the spot. Blue, blue, gush, black, blue, AK for sure. Combat, I wouldn't. Maybe we can just play this game for longer. If we get STP'd, we're just dead, right? Oh, wow. Well, what do you think about this opponent? Counterspell, eat the bottom. They have 5 lands, we have 5 lands. We do nothing. You are up, opponent. Black, duress me? Yeah, you've got it. It's a diamond. End step, my go. Untap, draw. Memory Lapse, eat the bottom. At what point do I sack a factory to force them to use resource and to turn on my Weathered Wayfarers? I think this is that point. Activate. Combat. Attack you. All right, damage. Yep, it's bigger. I'm not even going to pump. All right, that's a dead factory. Let's activate this Weathered Wayfarer and go grab another Mishra's factory. Yeah, I believe it's another Mishra's factory. And then do we do it again? No, right? Because then we can't crack the Phyrexian Furnace if they have Wonder. So we just play the factory. We pass the turn. Although I guess that just puts us in the same point as we were before. That's a little bit tricky. Maybe we're supposed to take the risk and hope they don't have Wonder. I think that would have been correct, actually. If we lose the game, we lose the game, but that like is what it is. Untap, draw, eat. Do we just go for gold? Fire up everything, full send? How many swords have they seen? 1, 2, 3. And how many fire ice have we seen? 1. The chance that their hand is just permissioned is non-zero. I'm at 14. So if they have a gush in their hand, yeah, it's lethal if they have gush in their hand. Play out Flooded Strand. Is this it? Is this the turn where I do it? Yeah, I'm trying to play this game as if my opponent isn't going to time out. I think it's too risky. I think we're in a position where like they have to break the status quo. I think we're still chilling. Attackers, end step, my go. Untap, draw, eat the bottom card. I think I'm going to start holding lands now. Here comes the gush. Is it time to Memory Lapse gush? I think it might be. Fetch, island, tap, tap, Memory Lapse gush. Counterspell, perfect. All right, gush away, buddy. There's the diamond. Is it Armageddon time? Attackers, passing. All right, we'll take it. Untap, draw. Another strand, another pass, but first we'll activate the furnace. And you may go. Gush again? Yeah, I think the more that this game's playing out, I think at some point earlier in the game, we were supposed to man up both factories and just go for it, right? Powder Keg for sure. Island, yep. Attackers, end step, my turn. On tap, they have to go to discard. Okay, sure. There's a diamond of my own. Let's go ahead and eat the bottom. And let's get a diamond into play, I think. And we're chilling. I think we kind of just like lose to Armageddon here, right? That's tough. That ticks up to 1, then they Geddon us an attack, and it's GG. So close. All right, they pop on 1. Can't stop that. Any order. Combat. Attack. Okay, activate. Blockers. Block. Oh, I should have activated Furnace. You're absolutely right. Okay, well, unfortunately, we'll never see the conclusion of this game. Good games, you beautiful. GG's. All right, that's a bummer. It's unclear who would have won that game eventually, because if I draw like STP, they're super anemic because they pulled all their lands back and they didn't have Armageddon. But thanks to MTGO, we won on time. So we'll get into the next round. Holy shit, that was a long game. The viewers won that game. It was a pretty tense game. I like games like that. Those really close to the edge, decision-rich games. If that was a paper game, there's a chance it would have ended in a draw, unfortunately. All right, Moscow Mitch is the opponent for round number 2. This hand contains Weathered Wayfarer on the draw and a defensive Swords to Plowshares with manlands. This is a keep. What a landy hand. Opponent says the legend. What's up, Moscow Mitch? So they skip their draw step. Well, big oops. It's funny because they accidentally F6 through their turn, but it makes my Wayfarer worse, which is really funny. I think what we're supposed to do is just get we'll get a factory into play. We'll get a Mox Diamond into play, cast it. We'll pitch a redundant factory because when you use this Wayfarer to get more of them, and then we will yield through the turn. But if they had played a land, this turn could have been even better. Sue Smuggler, this deck does look fun in a grindy match. Yeah, this deck's it's very engaging. And also, who doesn't love a Weathered Wayfarer, dude? The card's so fun. It's like the closest thing we have to a Planeswalker in this format. And then they STP, but then we follow up with, Savannah Lions. Okay, game on. On tap, upkeep, draw. Land, tap for 1, blue. Here's my Standstill. You can go. The Factory of Their Own, very nice. I'm not going to be able to activate this Weathered Wayfarer super soon, but I think I'm going to have to trade factories, so I think I'm going to keep it around for a little bit. On tap, take a draw. Dusty, go. Brushland. Are we going to do some combating? They're going to do some passing. Okay, I'll go. This looks like the legendary green-white madness deck that's taken off like crazy. Well, this Wasteland's quite good. So now I can chill and do nothing for the foreseeable future. My favorite way to play the game. Swords, crack my Standstill. I like it. No response. Let's draw 3. And do we even interact with this? I don't think we're memory lapsing a Swords to Plowshares necessarily. Yeah, no, that's fine. And then now that we've passed that point, let's choke your mana down just a little bit. Pop the Brushland. Continue. Patrol Hound, why don't you play that again next turn if you don't mind? Attackers, you can't. Got this pesky factory in play. What are they thinking about? They know this factory wasn't just played, right? So they can't really attack. End step, I will happily burn a Swords here, because my next turn's pretty wrapped up in a basket. They missed their land drop, and I know their top card. So Flooded Strand, activate Dust Bowl, pop the factory, tap 1, 2, 3, and I will sacrifice the basic plains. And then I will yield through turn. They don't have a land, which is great. We'll draw, Flooded Strand, play it. We will 1, 2, 3, and we're going to morph a Whipcorder first to see if we can lure out another STP. No STP. Okay, cool. Opponent misses on the land, so I think we're flipping my buddy. Go get another plains. Oh, they have it. Okay, no response. It's gone. It's just a Whipcorder. Go get STP mana, plains, and then we won't fetch the second one. We'll just untap, take a draw. That's another Whipcorder. Let's keep making them sweat it like this. 1, 2, 3, morph. They've used 2 STPs, but I'm comfortable just bleeding out my threat super slow. And they pass. We like it. All right, let's flip it. Untap, draw. That's a land. I know exactly what we're doing now. Attack for 2. And insist upon our devious plan. Island cast. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Go. They don't have STP. This is a good time to concede. Ooh, Brushland. They have stuff. All right, Patrol Hound. That ain't going to do it, unfortunately. Untap, draw. Let's go white STP, the Patrol Hound. Basking Root Walla, yield to all. I don't care if you put dudes in play. Another one. Yield to all. All right, then we're going to... Do we Dust Bowl? I think so. Yeah, Dust Bowl here. Tap 1, 2, 3. And we'll sacrifice plains. And then we'll go white, Sergeant, combat, attack for all of it. If they want to double block, that's their prerogative. Ooh, missed a comment here. Wonder if you could go for a more mana producing, whether it be like Ancient Tomb or some mana producing artifacts, since you already have Diamond Angel to get out Angel faster in Armageddon. Like a turbo. That's a different deck. That's kind of like a White Lightning does something similar to that. But I think this deck is functioning on like a mana sink basis, but it doesn't want to play spells that just make mana, except for Diamond, because that's like it's a tempo. It's not really a ramp spell, it's a tempo spell. Mox Diamond, people read it as ramp, but you're technically ramping, but you're also going down a resource, which is a huge ask. All right, passing to me, untap. Now everyone screenshot this real quick. We've achieved it. We have the pyramid. I have to tell my opponent. We have the pyramid. Look at this beautiful, everyone take a moment. My opponent has cooperated with us because they love us and we're best friends and we've made the gorgeous pyramid. Everyone screenshot that, clip it, send it to your aunts and uncles. It's pretty cool stuff. Sorry, I hope they don't think I'm being, oh, they said it's hilarious. I was like, I hope they don't think I'm being rude to them. I just thought the board looked really funny. Combat, I think we're sending in with Whipcorder still. Yeah, when you cast like a Pearl Medallion or something, or what is it? Pearl Diamond, whatever the white diamond, Marble Diamond. When you cast that, you're spending your turn to cast it most of the time. Where Diamond is actually, that compresses your turn into one spell, where Diamond expands your turn into 2 spells. That's what this deck wants to do. Opponent says they think it's unwinnable and concede. Yeah, F6 gotcha. All right, what do we want in this matchup? Powder Keg, I believe, is good. Tormod, Crypt, Furnace are necessary. If they have a board presence and they get Glory into the bin, I'm done. I'm donezo. It's over for us. I can think about response. They do have a good amount of mana denial. No Purist, no Serenity. I don't think we want Disenchant. None of these. Nope. So it's just those 6 that we're kind of interested in. We're on the draw, so Wayfarer is still pretty good. I think Armageddon's actually okay in this matchup because they have so many mana sinks. I think that Standstill is below rate. I think that Mana Leak is on the draw, just not where we want to be. What else? We need 3 more. Do we truly need everything? Is Keg actually good? Keg on 1's incredible in this matchup, right? Maybe Meddling Mage is like tempo. No, I think it's just Standstills, man. They've got so many manlands. I'll keep like 1 Standstill in my deck. Maybe a Disenchant is interesting because Keg can also take out Curse Scroll. This isn't a matchup where I want to like have Disenchant in my hand, right? Like if they have a Curse Scroll, I need it. No, I think that's just it though, right? If they have Curse Scroll, I absolutely need it. So I think Armageddon I still think we want the 1 of Armageddon. It's really tricky, but I think we want it. Maybe we can cut just 1 Meddling Mage and maybe we can cut, you know what? I'll come up with a better plan later. 61 is actually less mentally taxing than just trying to figure out what the last card is. Those lizards look like they're about to start selling you knives is crazy, but they kind of do have that art. And that game was an example of like, this deck's normally very hard to play, but between our opponent's misclick and our good opening hand, we didn't have to do anything. They just accidentally F6 because they thought they were on the draw, which I've done before. I can't throw shade at that. I do that more times than I care to admit for someone who plays as much MTGO as I do. This hand contains the Graveyard Hate in droves. Whipcorder, Standstill, 2 manlands. It's not ideal, but also it's not nothing. I think we'll keep this just because we do Stone Cold lose to Glory. And if they have a Call of the Herd heavy hand, this hand looks pretty good. There's a Savannah Lions, our natural predator. STP off the top would have been ideal, but we didn't find that. So we'll go Plains, tap, Furnace, F6. We might be able to stand. Nope, that's a Mishra Factory. Standstill is no longer in our range. Activate the Factory is kind of weird. What does that do? Oh, did they misclick? Oh no, Mitch. I think they wanted to play a Patrol Hound and they misclicked. It's okay because these 2 Savannah Lions are going to be very good versus us. On tap, take a draw. Yeah, we're just drawing lands here. I think we need to get a Whipcorder into play, which is kind of awkward because I really want to fetch Island with this, but I don't think we have the like fluidity in our range right now to do that. Luckily, I had another play, but like, what is happening right now? Yeah, sorry, opponent. That's a bummer. They really helped us out winning game 1. Now, to be fair to our opponent, don't worry too much. I think we were going to win that game 1 regardless, but it would have been much closer if they had played a land on their first turn and a creature. But we just had so many tools. Combat. Do we take a trade? I don't think so. I think this Whipcorder is actually too valuable. Patrol Hound. There he is. All right. The Hibernation's not looking too good. They found the white part of their deck. Ooh, Angel. Hello. Hello, gorgeous. I love you and I've missed you. I think we are now interested. Do we take another big hit to get this Faerie Conclave into play? I think we might. Because they certainly have STP. Yeah, let's get Faerie Conclave into play. Chill. We're just going to tap the Patrol Hound. They pitch Rootwalla. This is looking grim. They've got a very good opener. All right, Patrol Hound gets first strike. Another one. Oh, their hand's so good, you guys. Luckily, the Rootwalla's like, maybe I don't tap here. Maybe I hold this up as a blocker. Wasteland. Ooh, we were never going to beat this hand, I don't think. Yeah, this is white, green madness. This is a very known deck in the format right now. They full send. Okay, declare blockers. Wait, cycle this. If I find STP, my turn looks better. All right, a basic island. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 is what I'm going to take. Declare blockers. Let's block the Basking Root Walla because they cannot pump it currently. What they can do, however, is pitch Glory, which forces me to Furnace the Glory. And their Basking Root Walla survives. Man, their hand was perfect. It's so bad. All right, we have to, wait, we'll eat the bottom. And then we will eat the Glory as well. Reverent Mantra. Okay, damage. I'm at 6. That Reverent Mantra might mean something. It depends on my draw. Okay, not really. Let's see here. If they don't develop a green mana, I'm still dead. I'll make them see it. Here's a factory, I'll pass. I have this Reverent Mantra, so I can like block with Mishra's Factory and like Reverent Mantra. Unfortunately, pitching my Exalted Angel, but let's see if they man up that. Oh, they can pump now too? Okay, I'm not even going to show them the Reverent Mantra. We're just deader than a doornail, and we're on the plate. Now that is probably the best opener I've ever seen out of that deck, so don't get too pumped up about the deck. Don't get me wrong, the deck's very good, but that is not the deck's typical range. We'll cut a Weathered Wayfarer because we are on the play. Armageddon, I think, is actually maybe not where we want to be. That just gets stuck in our hand more times than not, right? Yeah. And then we will take in another Mana Leak now that we're on the play. I think I like it. And then, is that it? Is this a really good Divert matchup? I don't know. Hard to say. We'll just submit this. Pretty cool after X year's new Premodern decks. Yeah, and that's going to continue to happen. Premodern's power level is too flat for one deck to be dominant forever. Simple. If a problem arises, the format will simply shift to solve the problem. Thus, we have a cyclical format instead of a rotating format. This is better. You know how people like board games and play those for their entire lives? Premodern's just the best board game ever made in the history of ever. That's if you're one of those people that was like looking at Premodern, but you're like, oh, but it never gets new cards. Feature, not a flaw. The absolute feature, absolutely not a flaw. You get to buy the format. Like if you're someone with the funds and the means, or someone in an area where the local events are super proxy friendly, you can just have a big ass box that contains the format and play it for the rest of your life. It's the best board game ever created. All right, I'll be on the play. Whipcorder, Powder Keg, Disenchant. It's not ideal, but I think it's a keep. I do believe we have a keep here. Keg on 1 is very good. We hope our opponent doesn't do what they did to us game 1, because anytime that deck does that, you're going to die. That's just so good. Yeah, exactly. It's the best board game, and if you look at it like a board game, it's also like the most competitive possible board game that you don't have to play competitively if you're not inclined to do so. I'm a very competitive player. I like to approach this game from a competitive standpoint. But if you just want to like jam and play sick cards you remember from your youth, or just like maybe you're not some old dinosaur like me, maybe you just like are a zoomer and just want to play cool old card, go burr. You can just do that. No one can stop you. It rules. It's awesome. Yield through turn. I would have loved to lead on Sergeant. That's probably my best opener in this matchup. Plains into a Tireless Tribe. Yield through. All right, I could play Whipcorder, but I think getting this Keg up on 1 is going to be more important. STP. We'll wait on that. Let's go. I really don't want to I'm not quite prepared to get Wastelanded yet. So let's get a basic island and drop the Kegger. Also, a lot of decently sized cities have some kind of pre-modern group for paper magic. Format is on the rise. I like that a lot. Me too. Me also big fan. All right, that's a mongrel. So what we're going to do here is we're going to take the 1. We're going to get the Powder Keg up on 1. Then we're going to STP the mongrel and see what they say about it. We're going to STP before we crack the Keg because we don't want them to put in Root Wallace. So let's go. Let's not expose the factory yet. Let's play Adarkar Wastes. Tap for a white. STP U. Pop the Keg so they can't arrogant worm us. F6. We really want them to have Curse Scroll or something. I need this Disenchant to meet a target. If it doesn't, then they're just dead cards in my hand that I can never convert. Mishra's Factory counts is something I can convert it into. Okay, you've got a Tireless Tribe. Oh no, their hand's so good. Okay, my turn. Good one, please. Does it count? I suppose it counts. White, Whipcorder. Standstill. Hope they don't have Glory. Combat. End step. Although if they do, our factory is still a viable blocker, so it doesn't really matter. Wasteland, okay. Now it's not. Activate factory? Okay, sure. If that's the only attack, we're cool with it. It's probably factory plus Patrol Hound. Attacking with the tribe's kind of weird. Block the tribe. Pitch Brushland? Sure. Damage. End step, my turn. Meddling Mage. All right, we're back on our chillin'. We need to draw a Wasteland or a factory of our own or something. Do we tap? No, I think we let them attack. No, it's less damage to tap. Yield through. Manland. Damn it. Pass. You know, I think I need to make a note of this. I think Standstill always gets cut in this matchup. All of them. All right. They're powering up the factory. Got it. Activate, tap the factory. All right, deck, deliver. I've only seen one factory. Let's get a factory or a Wasteland off the top. Cycle this. Yikes. It's looking grim, kids. We have a resolve Standstill. All right, you've activated factory. Combat, I think it's probably time to crack this Standstill. I'm not pumped about it. Go to blocks. Block here. All right, they're pitching. I now have to crack the Standstill for my opponent, this is really lame, by the way. Yield. Another factory. We have a Disenchant for that. Savannah Lion, sure. Off the top, Faerie Conclave for sure. Tap this, tap this. Let's play Meddling Mage. Let's go ahead and name Arrogant Worm and then pass. Glory cooks us. Yeah, I think definitely looking for feedback. So if you're watching this on YouTube, here's another engagement bait. I'm under the impression, Responsible Joseph, if you ever get to this, get at me on Discord. I'd love to talk with you about this deck. I'd love to pick your brain on like opening hand heuristics and stuff like that. They go to combat, so they don't have a Glory. That's huge. So this lets us set this block up. Block here, block here. But like I think Standstills come out in this matchup straight up. The combination of Pressure, Wasteland, their own Mishra's factories, the fact that they normally have a body in play by the time it can play Standstill, I think they all come out in this matchup. So this is 4 damage. They are correctly not doing anything because I'm dead to this. Disenchant. Yield through turn. If they don't play a threat, we've got a chance. Low chance of that happening. It's another danger dog. Untap draw. Mox Diamond doesn't help us. So we have to sack the Faerie Conclave. That's where we're at now. Okay, pass. Yes, opponent has more early bodies, almost the same amount of factories Wasteland. Yeah, that's my thinking too. I think trying to keep my any number of my... Ooh, I was supposed to tap one of those danger dogs. Well, that kills me. We'll concede the game. GG's Moscow Mitch. Return to details. 1-1. Let's get into round 3. That's a matchup I like playing. The green-white aggro deck I think is a great addition to this pre-modern metagame. I'm super stoked Emodian found it. And Responsible Joseph, I cannot stress this enough. If you ever, if you know who Responsible Joseph is on MTGO, I'm using my poll here as someone who people maybe know who they are. Tell Responsible Joseph to reach out to me on Discord. And if they don't have a Discord, maybe Twitter. I would just love to pick the brain. Maybe even an interview. Maybe even... I know some of the architects of some of these sweet decks. I'd love to do some interviews, maybe for the channel, which would also be cool. All right, we found opponent number 3. We're 1-1. Mind you, I'm still learning this deck. So if you're watching this thinking this guy's playing like Dogwater, give me my 100 matchups. This deck's kind of hard. Let me get my 100 games in, then we can start criticizing me. This hand is, I'm not going to explain why I'm mulliganing this if you don't know. And I guess you don't know. This hand contains the load-bearing Wasteland. How funky. I think it's a keep, and I think Whipcorder goes to the bottom. Our best draw is Plains. This Wasteland's going to be used to power our Skycloud Expanse, which is like hilariously bad. Oh, their own Weathered Wayfarer. Okay, sure. Do I just pass the turn? Because if I play a land, I can't even use it. Yeah, let's pass. Because they're just going to get Wastelands. Yield through the turn. Duress for sure. Standstill makes sense. They were on the play, so if they want to take the entire game to not play lands while I don't play lands, I'll wait till I draw like, okay, Flooded Strand, I can get my own Weathered Wayfarer into play. Yeah, I'll take that. Now you can start activating your Wayfarer. Go get a Plains. The reason we didn't play either of these is because they didn't do anything. So here's my Wayfarer. Yield. Also, they can't like Wayfarer for Wasteland and strip mine me anyway now. Yield. Hold. Probably get a fetch land, right? That surely has to be the best possible thing for them to get here. One thing about drinking coffee, if you're not familiar, I'm streaming, so this conversation may not have been had, but I'm switching from energy drinks to coffee because I'm getting old, and I think I need the dietary fiber and the extra liquid. But, ooh, Wasteland, for sure. You get a Wasteland. But let me tell you what, the amount of liquid I'm getting... I'm gonna have to go pee after this round, I think. Curse Scroll, for sure. On tap, draw Angel. Let's get out another body, I think. We're gonna have to sack the Skycloud Expanse. Blue-white plus this. Let's play Meddling Mage. Swords to Plowshares. We got caught behind an opposing Weathered Wayfarer, which is not a good place to be. How many cups have you had already? Feel like you were on your 3rd cup now? Second cup. I'm like a 250 milligrams of caffeine a day kind of dude. As long as you grind it yourself and don't overdo boutique coffee, it's cheaper than Celsius, etc. Also, true. Celsius is insane. I don't know if you've ever looked at a Celsius and the amount of sheer caffeine that's in a Celsius, but it's not just the caffeine. There's like so many additives in Celsius. It scares the shit out of me. Wasteland's fine, but I now have a clock, so I'm comfortable with this. If you keep Wastelanding, you can't ever activate your Curse Scroll. So, combat, attack you. We'll play this game now. Go ahead. You have 2 mana, which is pretty shaka, but if you want to activate Curse Scroll, you need to find another diamond immediately. Why do I speak these things into existence? 1, 2, 3, Call of the Herd. Okay, grinding into this is going to be useless. Our opponent's opener was the ideal versus us. What do we want in this matchup? They have so many artifacts. They're playing Curse Scroll and stuff. I'm actually considering Serenity in a matchup like this. Same with Disenchant. I think Powder Keg's very good. And I saw Elephants, so maybe these. Hibernations, Response, nothing else. This is 8. I think we want to lose Armageddon. I think on the play, this is bad. On the play, this isn't that good. I think our Whipcorder stuff is pretty good, but Standstill has got to be miserable in this matchup. We're going to cut all these. From there, I like our Whipquarters. Our mana leaks are like fine. Diamond's a little bit spooky, but it might be necessary. Maybe Serenity is a little bit too... No, I think that's a little bit too heavy into that. I don't know enough about their deck's range, so a Meddling Mage. 7 for 7. Submit. My coworker bought me a Monster 300 one time. It just tasted like chemicals. Couldn't even drink that shit. While we were on the topic of Guarana and shit, any old people here just remember Josta? First big brand soda with Guarana? Man, I'd give anything for one more Josta. I have no clue. what that even is. Night Bladder, you did that one to yourself. Who are you talking to? The person who drank the big energy drink or me? I'll be on the play. Okay, we got Weathered Wayfarer. I think Weathered Wayfarer is a fine place to be. It's not as good on the play, obviously, but it's going to demand that they respect. Also, I've got multiple basics, which is huge in this Wasteland matchup. It's going to demand that they respect the Wayfarer in general. So here's the Wayfarer. Go. Talking the second diamond into existence. Yeah, that was me. You're absolutely right about that. I think now one thing the Responsible Joseph does in this deck is he only plays 3 diamonds. I feel like this deck could play a 4th diamond, but maybe there's no space. Maybe it's you don't want to see diamond that often. But I feel like the games where you have diamond in your hand are pretty good. There's a curse scroll. That's totally fine. We play Flooded Strand and we just pass. The reason we're not attacking is because we can do the fetch trick to get another land out. We just drew the Disenchant for the curse scroll, which is quite good. Although if they play a diamond, we might just disenchant that. There's a land. They're playing a Sylvan Library. I think, is Mana Leak more important here? I think it might be. Yeah, let's just fetch for a blue. We're not going to activate. We're not going to do the trick. We're just going to straight up Mana Leak this Nightmare card and then yield through. Take a draw. It's a land. We will. We're not going to be activating this. So we're going to go to combat. We're going to attack. And then we're going to continue to not play basics. Here's a or not play non-basics. Here's a plains. And I think we'll get a second Wayfarer into play and just pass. If we can ever activate both of these in one turn, that's probably game. That's way too many cards to actually deal with. White. Pyroclasm? Oof. Didn't see that coming. F6. Any order. Should have thought about that. I didn't think that was in their range. Although they're about to lose their Gemstone Mine, which is fine. Ooh, Rith's Grove. Now they're not. Man, our opponent's got like perfect. That sucks for us. Whenever I try to play like a Terravorish deck like this, it doesn't play out like that for me. My hands are always like kind of awkward. I think we need Manland potentially. I don't really want to walk into. Let's cast this. Let's get rid of the Manland. Walking into, well, Wasteland actually doesn't, I don't care about it right now, I don't think. No, we'll pitch the island. We'll play the Mishra's Factory and we'll F6. This I don't think is on a list of matchups we ever want to see. They like do what we do, but they're like dedicated to that thing instead of being toolboxy. They're all in on like this mana denial engine that probably ends in Terravors. Yeah, you fetched. We know there's a Gemstone Mine in their hand. There's the aforementioned Terravor that we probably just can't beat. Conclave, F6. We'll give it one more draw step. This is a matchup we're hoping to dodge, I think. And this is another one where I'm definitely looking for feedback. Is this like secretly a good matchup and I need to learn how to play it? I don't know. I will take the 5. 1, 2, 3. Call of the Herd, for sure. Wasteland, for sure. My turn, untap and draw a sort. Meddling Mage. Okay, we're going to concede that game. We're super dead. I have a feeling that that's not good for us, but I'm also ready to talk to someone who understands this deck very well, like Joseph, and workshop like maybe is there a way to play this matchup where I can gain some favor? We're 1-2. We're going to get into round. All right, found an opponent and we are on the play. So we'll take the play. Opening hand looks like, ooh, what's this? Faerie Conclave into Standstill? Yeah, we'll keep this. We just look like Standstill right now. Yeah, this is a matchup where we would be fine seeing Shrimp. All right, here's my Conclave. You may go. What do we see? Island? Ooh, Underground River, kind of like an island. This is going to duress my Standstill. That's a bummer. Yeah, we get Keg and play get it to 3. This is probably Tog. Could be HFEB. All right, they take Standstill. That's probably correct. No thoughts about Standstill. Dust Bowl looks pretty good if this is HFEB. We can start to choke their mana down if we make it to that point. Until then, we will just go Island, tap, Powder Keg. Maybe better to play Adarkar Wastes there just in case we need to blue at some point or white at some point, but I like getting my basics into play. If it's HFEB, there are probably a couple druids going to a farm upstate, true. Although this looks like, nope, this looks like it's going to be Finkula. That's Adarkar Wastes Underground River, so that's probably not Tog. And that's a Meddling Mage after a duress. This is Finkula. They're going to name STP. We're going to try to get that Powder Keg up to 2. And this Dust Bowl should be incredible. On tap, yield to this trigger always. And yes, take a draw. It's a Whipcorder. Let's morph that fucker into play right now. And yield. Combat. They attack. Interesting. I think I value my Whipcorder more than their Meddling Mage right now. Especially since I can keg their mage. Delty? Fetch. Is it John? Are we playing John? Like, this looks like John, or it could be Tog. It's John. Shadow Mage Infiltrator. End step, my go. This is getting ticked up. I draw. It's a Wasteland. A lot of good things are about to happen. Let's pop this on 2. Let's tap for a white and STP this John Finkel. Let's play this Wasteland and take them off of white mana. Let's go to combat and attack for 2. Don't miss your land drop. I will Dust Bowl you if you do. Okay, they don't miss their land drop. This is Finkel number 2. Be pretty soft into my Swords to Plowshares. White. STP. Mother, sure. Attackers, end step. I kind of want to draw land, to be honest. On tap, draw. Hey, it's me. It's me again. Combat, attack for 2. Damage. Now, the big question here is, do I need to deal with the mom? It kind of seems like no, because if I need to use the STP, I can just tap the mom before using it. So I think mana denial continues to be the plan. 1, 2, 3. And I'll sacrifice the island and yield through the turn. They keep finding lands. Damn it, Finkola, you don't play that many lands. Yield. At the very least, their factor friction turn keeps getting pushed further and further back. Morph, for sure. That's an angel. I can deal with it. Untap, draw Reverent Mantra. Plains, flip you face up. Wait, do I? Or is it better to wait? No, they're tapped out. We need to flip you face up. And we will tap... Oh, this doesn't work. I don't have enough white. That was a mistake. I've just made a potentially game-ending mistake. Well, we'll pass. You may go. I've dealt with like 2 white sources. Do you have a fourth or a third white source? Their mana base looks incredible right now. All right, I'll take 2. What are you going to do? Flip in response? I don't care about that. That's fine. I'll take 2. Damage. The fact they didn't flip that morph makes me think they definitely have factor fiction, which is going to be a real bummer for us. We were in a good spot a second ago. End step. I probably flubbed that by flipping the Whipcorder preemptively. Tap the mother. Yeah, you can give that protection from whatever color you want, boo-boo. No response. Now the question is, am I playing around STP? Here's an Adarkar Wastes. I'm playing STP. Am I playing around? The question is, am I playing around STP? The question is, am I playing around Counterspell? Because that fucks me up real good. Or do I just get busy? Like force them to develop the mana to flip the angel? And if they do that, I just swords it. I kind of don't hate that. Blue, colorless, combat. Like if they don't invest the mana to flip angel, I can just race this. So we're going to try that. Attack with everything. Blue, colorless. Impulse, for sure. Blockers, damage. All right, you're up, opponent. Did we impulse into impulse? All right, looks like they want the smoke. They're going to flip angel. They kind of need to do it right now. If that's a cutthroat, I'm not as worried. Damage. Okay. That is bad. Although I can stop them from flipping the morph with my with my Dust Bowl. And that's interesting, right? I think I got to let it go. End step. My turn. Untap, draw. A Weathered Wayfarer. Interesting. Interesting. Let's play it out. And let's Dust Bowl the Reflecting Pool. Sacking in Adarkar Wastes. And then pass to you. Watch that be like a Bane of the Living. What a nightmare that would be. All right, if it's an angel, they can't flip it anymore, so that's really good. Attacky, that makes sense. Itaiki. They have 4 lands. Interesting. Mantra was such a powerhouse back in the day. I think it's probably fine here, too. What if I just morph this angel face down? If they don't have counter magic, it's like really, really good for me. Alternatively, what if I just get in the Faerie Conclave? I think we want to do that. But if they have factor fiction, I really like them to counterspell instead, right? I think the higher upside is to morph the angel and hope they have factor fiction counterspell. Yeah, morph. They've already seen a Whipcorder, so maybe they don't know I have angels. Tough. All right, that's in play. Go. Cast your factor fiction. White mana? Is it a swords? Do I Reverent Mantra? My swords doesn't work anymore. Are they countering it? Okay, it's a mana leak. Okay, now we're kind of in this weird spot where they're winning they're not really winning the race, actually. If they never develop white source, I just switch to attacking with Conclave. If they draw a land, they can't even play it. Otherwise, my Weathered Wayfarer is going to run the train on them. Attackers, damage, it's fine. I'll take 2. So their hand was swords, mana leak. I'm glad I played it that way. Now I still have Faerie Conclave. 1, 2, 3. What costs 3? Another morph? Another morph. Okay. We try to win this race. That is our goal now. Memory Lapse. Sorry, Memory Lapse. Not today. Blue, whatever. Activate the Conclave. I'm coming. Beat, beat. You're up. Attackers. Do I block? Not this turn, I don't think. We just go to 6. Damage. End step. Me go. Island. That's actually incredibly helpful. Play it. Man up this factory. Like this. Not factory. Conclave. Combat. Attack. Blue, white. Colorless. What is this? Dromar's Charm. -2, -2. So if I Memory Lapse, all I have to do is block Mother. Although if I Memory Lapse, I guess it goes back to the top of their deck. But they can't cast it again without dying? Okay. Blue, white, Memory Lapse, put it back on top. Blockers. So now they're dead, right? Because they can't Dromar's Charm the Weathered Wayfarer. They can't cast it. They're hellbent. So I think they're just dead now. They attack with everything I block one of their creatures. I believe Dromar's Charm gains 5 life, but it costs them the last life they have to cast it. What a good game. I think that island we drew is like the linchpin of this game. Attackers. Attack with everything. Declare blocks. Block here. Damage. I'm at 2. GG? Yeah, GG. What a narrow, close game. That was tight. All right, what do we want here? I think Armageddon's actually very good at matchups like this. What else? I think Divert's probably fine. They got to have like counter magic and removal, so that seems like a good combination. Everything else here looks bad. Dawning Purist, not for this matchup. Same as Serenity. Same with this. Yeah, all these are pretty bad. Do we want Powder Keg? I think so. And these look bad. We're on the draw. What changes? Yeah, if the opponent had known how the game was going to play out and they had gained life instead, they maybe could have won that game. But that's pre-modern, baby. The whole format's just like hinged on these tight decision points. Divert is a sweet card. I was super happy to pick one up in paper. I think that my deck is actually pretty well prepared for a matchup like this. I could see a world where Reverent Mantra, it did save our ass that game, but I can see a world where like the card disadvantage might come up to be a little bit too much. Also Armageddon's probably just strictly better. I think my counter magic's actually pretty good. Maybe I can cut a Ramosian Sergeant. Although Ramosian Sergeant seems so good against like Finkel and Exalted Angel and all that. Their deck also just costs mana to play, but they're also a duress deck, so maybe like some number of counter magics aren't that good. Like 1 mana leak, leave 3 in. Maybe it's just Memory Lapse because of Meddling Mage and cut the mana leaks. Maybe this is like slightly better. I don't know. We're going to try it. This hand contains a turn 1 Weathered Wayfarer or a turn 1 Standstill, depending on what our opponent does. I will keep. No duress, good talk. My turn, untap, draw. Plains is great here, actually. Let's go play around 4 spike. Play around 4 spike. Wastes, Diamond. Pitch, Adarkar Wastes, Diamond. Pitch, Plains, Weathered Wayfarer, Standstill. Don't 4 spike me, bro. All right, this is my turn 1. Let's go. Let's fucking go. Opponent says nice starting hand. Yeah, sorry, Jackie. How do you pronounce it? I'm gonna call you Jace K. Sorry, Jace. It was incredibly good for me. Wasn't even remotely close to fair. Okay, opponent plays a land, but the funny thing is we don't need very much to play this game. Tap for a white, activate Weathered Wayfarer. We'll grab a Mishra's Factory, but we'll play out Flooded Strand and pass. Just to make sure we can stay behind with this Weathered Wayfarer and continue to develop our mana base. Is it time to pop my Standstill? Hell yeah, draw 3, and then do your thing. All right, that worked out really well for us. Little floody, little fetchy, for sure. What's the 3-drop of choice? Finkel? Tog? It's Finkley. Hello, Finkley. I need my Whipcorder to solve this problem. So it might be Meddling Mage Swords into Whipcorder. We'll see. It has Fear, so I can block it with Mishra's Factories as well. Let's activate here to start. Let's go. We could grab a Wasteland and start to fuck their mana up. Rich, Standstill undoes the card disadvantage from the 2 Moxen. I love it when a plan comes together. Yeah, it felt good. It felt good. Here it's interesting, right? I wish... Why do I only get 1 land drop a turn? That's so lame. Wasteland probably messes their mana up in a really big way. I really would like Shadow Mage Infiltrator to not punch me in the teeth right now. I think I'll preemptively grab a Wasteland with the intention to play Factory this turn. And then I will tap for a white and a blue. And I'll Meddling Mage. I'm going to name Swords to Plowshares. Then we're just going to chill. The funny thing about Shadow Mage is it can get blocked by Mishra's Factory, right? So they're going to need to like tap out for some big spell to stop that. And then they just replace the card with Shadow Mage. And then we can Whipcorder. So we'll see. 1, 2, 3. What's 3? Morph? For sure. This Whipcorder is going to be worth its weight in gold. They don't attack. I like it. I will untap. They have 4 lands, so we get another activation off this Weathered Wayfarer. And I will not be passing up on that. Activate Weathered Wayfarer. Grab another Wasteland. Play a Wasteland. Pop it. Blow up the white source. Then we can pop Whipcorder into play. Fetch. I don't want to fetch yet. We're just going to go white, white, and play Whipcorder. Then we're chilling. Swamp. They cannot flip that morph up, assuming it's an angel. The next Wasteland, I think, hits Underground River. No, it hits Reflecting Pool. My turn. My turn. Untap. Draw. Let's... Ooh, Armageddon, huh? Nah, not yet. White. Activate Wayfarer. Grab my 3rd Wasteland. Play it. Pop it. Hit the Reflecting Pool. So they can't jump to white out of nowhere. Don't Teferi's response me, bro. Factor Fic? For sure. That resolves. No response. STP is named like Factor Fiction STP versus the world. What do we vindicate? Does Mana Leak even function anymore? I mean, now they're tapped out. Now I surely just Armageddon, right? Meaning that I kind of really want to incentivize them to take this pile with a named card off Meddling Mage. I'll give you a Mana Leak too. No, a Vindicate as well. Okay, that's your pile. The 3-drop and the 4-drop will be uncastable under Armageddon. My hand is full of lands. And I've got a Wasteland. They take the big pile full of uncastable cards. Wasteland functions. And now we blow our opponent's whole back out. Fetch. There's 2 and 2. I think planes are more important at this point, so I'm fine Armageddoning away an island. Armageddon. They're going to draw a card off the Shadow Mage, but I think that's fine. Any order. F6. Yield through this turn. And now we've still got Weathered Wayfarer, so if they start playing lands, we're going to get more lands. I would feel so ominous if my opponent gave me Factor Fiction piles like that. Yeah, the goal is to give them the most amount of complete uncastables. Yep, Shadow Mage gets in, does his thing. You get a card. If you play a land, make sure it's a basic. No basic? Okay. Good talk. On tap. Let's activate here. Let's go grab, I think a fetch here makes the most sense, or is it just, it's just Mishra's Factory, right? Mishra's Factory, Wasteland you, and then we'll just chill. You won't be attacking me today, baby. Ooh, they attack with the morph. They're getting froggy. I'm comfortable taking 2. No land, so now we can switch gears. Now we can really switch gears. Okay, sure. Yeah. Standstill. Go. Well, I guess I attack with Meddling Mage. and Weathered Wayfarer. You may go. If they play a land, we'll get the pyramid back. My Meddling Mage is naming swords to Plowshares is why I don't plow first. All right, sweet. We're 2-2. That was a sick matchup. The first game was really tight and close. The second game was kind of a blowout. My opener was insane. It's getting to round 5. All right, found an opponent, and we are on the play. So let's do that. All right, opening hand looks like Diamond Wayfarer. This is always an interesting one to me. If they can't answer our Wayfarer, they simply have to play a land. So this is a gambit. Chat, I am looking for feedback. This is always a hand I'm always so on the fence about keeping. What we're about to do, if we keep this hand, is we're going to play Mox Diamond, pitching Flooded Strand, playing Wayfarer, and try to win the coin flip of our opponent can't kill the Wayfarer on turn 1. If they can't, wait, I've got a Reverent Mantra. Never mind. No, this is good. Keep. We're good. I just realized I have a Reverent Mantra. They can't kill my Wayfarer. But the question is if I didn't have Reverent Mantra, do we keep something like this? It's always so tricky. Yeah, Gwangly, with the, but what about without the Reverent Mantra, right? Is it a snap keep without the Reverent? Here we go. Mox Diamond. Cast, pitch, white, buddy, go. Always bowl. Cart Forest. Do we see a way to kill this thing? They do. Reverent Mantra, cast, pitch. I think Whipcorder is actually more important in a matchup where Lightning Bolt's in the range of our opponent. So we'll pitch Meddling Mage because I think this is Sly. And we'll name red. Yield. All right, activate for a white. We'll go grab a... I suppose we could just grab Wasteland, right? We just need to blink double bolt. Desolutionist is raiding. Desolutionist, how'd your stream go, buddy? What's going on, Raiders? I'm in the middle of making a decision on whether I get Wasteland to blow up my opponent's Carpulsion Forest or I get a safer land so I can keep playing the game. I'm greedy. I'm greedy. Wasteland. Play it. Not a chance. Go. Another land, another bolt. I'm upset. Nothing. Bet. On tap. Wasteland. Go ahead. Nah, not go ahead. Wasteland. I'll just play the Wasteland and pass. Should have attacked. But this might make them feel like they can play a land, and if it's a non-basic, I can Wasteland it, and then we just play this game forever while I draw resources. I've got Permission up, which is also huge. Oh, their own Wasteland. That's pretty cool. So I think what I want to do here, this is a funny trick. I'm going to Wasteland their Wasteland, holding priority, and activate Weathered Wayfarer. Yeah, they're going to crack their Wasteland. Doesn't matter. Wayfarer's trigger's already on the stack. Let's go grab me a fetch land, Flooded Strand. Okay, clear attackers, end step, my turn. Fetch land. Ooh, now we just play Standstill, right? Like, obviously. Fetch. Island. 1, 2. Standstill. Combat. Attack you for 1. All right, break my Standstill, bro. Big womp womp. Ooh, little Wasteland. That's pretty cool. Declare attacks. End step. My turn. Yeah, I just simply won't do... Ooh, Mishra's Factory. Maybe I simply will do stuff. Combat. Attack for 1. You know what? No, I'm not playing my Mishra's Factory into that Wasteland. I changed my mind. I'll just pass. I've got Permission up. I'll wait to find basics. I'm still not sure what my opponent's on. With Wasteland, Cart Forest, Lightning Bolt, I actually kind of put them on Oath Ponza with the worst opener you've ever seen in your life. City of Brass. Okay, so Wayfarer is super activatable now. Declare attacks. End step. The big question is, do I activate Wayfarer here, or do I just on-tap and activate it? I guess I activate it here because I need to get a land into play, right? So this lets him destroy my Wayfarer, but at the expense of me drawing 3 cards, so that's fine. Wayfarer has done its job. We've made the entire game about them panicking over Wayfarer, which I'm cool with. All right, no response. I'm going to search. Let's go grab me another Wasteland. Keep my opponent from developing. Yeah, I think that's fine. Wasteland. My turn. Untap draw. Memory Lapse is a cool pickup here. I'm pretty interested in just not letting my opponent have mana to function with. Then I weirdly have to discard, which is kind of annoying. But I've got so many counter spells. I think I'm like super comfy to just discard like a Whipcorder. I don't think that guy's doing a lot for me this game. That's a City of Brass. That makes me think it's not Oath Ponza. Now I'm confused as to what I'm playing against. Tap for 1. Darigaz's Caldera. That's fine. What do you want to play for 2 mana? Nimble Mongoose? For sure no. For sure no. Why don't you pop that back on top of your library and redraw it for me? Get a Curse Scroll or something? Is this another one of those Mr. T Dreams decks? It looks like it. Mishra's Factory, which is certainly going to get taken out by that Wasteland. Are we comfy with that? I think so. Yeah, I don't want... They've already used 2 bolts, so maybe it's actually safe to get Exalted Angel into play. Like, morph it face down, but I don't have a second white to flip it up anyway, so we're just going to pass. Maybe something I should have been thinking about a little bit harder, because I've had this Exalted Angel for a minute. I think I got tunnel visioned on my value plays. I should have given myself the ability to morph and flip Exalted Angel over the course of 1 turn. Also, probably... No, I shouldn't have gotten him at the factory. I want to hold up Permission. All right, why don't you, one more time, put that back on top for me. Yeah, you've blown up my Mishra's Factory. Go ahead. All right, here's another Exalted Angel. I've got a mana leak. It kind of feels like I need to start hedging for something else. So we know they're about to draw. I don't even know if they have a land. Let's just go for this. Now that I've got a second angel, it feels less risky. And if I draw a white source, I certainly just win, right? Tapped cave, bolt the angel. Our opponent successfully found 3 bolts. Let us morph a Weathered Wayfarer. We know they've got a Nimble Mongoose in hand. If they have Devastating Dreams, doing it for 2 would fuck us up because we'd be under the mongoose. Let's actually morph the Whipcorder and just yield. Put the sweat on him. Monologue Frog, thank you for the Prime sub. 3 months. Appreciate it, buddy. Mulch, yeah. Yield through turn. How many did you get? How many? Devastating Dreams goes to the bin. You've got Caldera and Forest. We did it. Thanks for all the support. Oh, we hit 10 subscribers today. Nice. Good job, guys. Good job for giving me your money to spend on illicit substances like Magic the Gathering cards. Oh, look forward to it. I'll have the details soon. I think we're doing a little bit of a giveaway as a celebration for the partnership with Ultimate Guard. I'm thinking some katanas. I think I'll do one for Twitch and one for Weathered Wayfarer and one for whatchamacallit. One for Twitch along with one for YouTube. So I'm still working out the details, but bear that in mind. We know their hand is 3 mystery cards plus Adari Gazes. We find ourselves in a grindy game. Attackers. I am comfortable with 3. 1, 2, 3. Is this Terravor? Yeah. Am I comfortable with Terravor? I'm kind of using my white, right, to spin the Wayfarer, so I think I have to mana leak this first one. I guess I could have just used my white to go get a white to... Yeah, that was kind of silly. I actually should have just answered it with a swords. Because now I'm kind of open to Devastating Dreams, which is not cool. The one's in the graveyard, but they drew 3 bolts. Why wouldn't they draw 4 Devastating Dreams? End step. My turn. Untap. Draw. All right, let's activate this Wayfarer. We've already got a white source, so maybe we want, like, Wasteland. We've already used all of our Wastelands. We did that earlier in the game. This game's been so long. I think that Mishra's Factory is probably fine. Also, we could just get Flooded Strand. Yeah, we'll get Flooded Strand so we can have hopes of activating it again if we need to. So we'll play the Flooded Strand out. And then are we chilling? We also don't know any information about hand. That's not true. We know about one of the lands that they had. Are we blocking with this Whipcorder? No. So we should attack for sure. Combat. But we might be blocking with this Mishra's Factory. And then I guess we're chilling. Cycle Forgotten Cave for sure, dude. You're up. Is this the second time we've played against this deck this league? No, we played against this again last league. I love this deck. I am no good at it. The deck our opponent's playing. It's like asking you to do some stuff that I don't want to be doing. Another Mulch for sure. What do we see? You get a Wooded Foothills and Brave Revelation goes to the bin. You keep losing all of your Sylvan Libraries, which probably isn't where you want to be. Fetch. Do you have a Devastating Dreams? Is that just binning your hand this whole time? Because that's brutal for me. Oh, just Cycle Forgotten Cave for sure. That's no problem. Combat. I will block with the Factory. All right. Did you draw your 4th bolt? Let's play a game. Activate. Blockers. Block it. Pump it. Trade. Trade. Lightning Bolt? For sure. You got my Weathered Wayfarer. Or sorry, my other one. My Whipcorder. 2 in hand. No threats in play. That's a Dust Bowl. I don't think it does a lot for us. Let's activate Wayfarer for a white. Let's go grab, I think, another Factory. Put that into play. And let's chill out on the Exalted Angel. I think a Devastating Dreams is coming soon. But right now they don't have a threat in place, so if they have like Werebear Devastating Dreams, we can just like kill their Werebear, right? And they've used all 4 Lightning Bolts. And we can use this Wayfarer to make sure there's lands in our hand post Devastating Dreams. All right, there's a Mulch number 3. What do we see? Gemstone Mine, Wooded Foothills, and that's it. Terravor's going to the bin. So we know about these 2. All right, untap. Draw. Another land. Let's activate that Weathered Wayfarer. How many basics are left? Can we get another fetch? We've got Island, 2 plains, so we can grab our last Flooded Strand and put that into place so we can activate it once more. We don't really have anything to do with our mana. I think it's pretty safe to get in with this Factory now. They're just stone cold out of bolts. Combat, attack, continue. Green. Is it Terravor time?
Hell yeah, brother. You got a 15-15.
Play a land. Ooh, it's a Mox Diamond. What are they going to pitch to it? Gemstone Mines. There's a Wooded Foothills plus a mystery card in their hand. All right, there's 1 mystery card left in hand. All right, we really want an Angel next turn, so I think we got to fetch now. Do we have a Plains left in our deck? I think we do. 2 even? Yeah, 2 Plains left in our deck. We'll grab a Plains. Well, I think we'll fetch twice. Yeah, make that. I shouldn't be doing this. I'm gaining my opponent more life than they should, but I didn't really think about the sequence as hard as I should have. We'll open on Swordsing the Terravor. Would you like to gain infinite life? Yes, you would. Fetch so you gain even more. No response. Then we're kind of looking for a Whipcorder because we're naked to a second one. Cycling. That's a diamond. My turn. Opponent is at a crisp, clean 30 life. I kind of like second diamond here. I guess I can forego this plains. And then they have 5 lands. Can I just like do everything? Yeah, I can activate this as well. I mean, if I get dreams, what's truly happening? Let's grab a Factory. Play the Factory. Play Exalted Angel. Good luck, me. F6. I'm like stone cold dead to a second Terravor if I don't find STP. Vor off the top. Never didn't have it. How many Vors are in the bin? Just 2? Yeah, they could certainly have another Terravor. Looks like they're just passing, though. Untap draw. Standstill is pretty sweet. Let's go Dust Bowl. Let's go Combat. Let's full send. should be attacking with those factories too. I got too happy about the fact I drew Standstill. And let's go Standstill and pass to you, opponent. You may have gained a lot of life, but me too. All right, looks like they're not Wastelanding our Dust Bowl, which makes sense. So we'll just hold it up in perpetuity. That's not what that word means. Let me think here. I can pop the Wasteland, or I can simply just get busy with factories. I'm not even gonna bother. Activate. Beautiful deck, but not a 5-0 deck. That's frankly on my deck or theirs. That's frankly untrue. The history of this deck is just top 4 multiple challenges, which is harder than 5-0ing. Yeah, we'll get busy here. Combat, full send. Yep, you've Wastelanded. Take some pain, damage, gain some life, some more clock, go. Terravore would still be a nightmare. We would hope that our Standstill draws us into like an STP, Whipcorder, something along those lines. Ramosian Sergeant would be a welcome top deck here. Yeah, they're tapping for a green. They have to go for something here, right? There's a Nimble. Crack the Standstill. I'll take it. All right, Ramosian Sergeant. That's good. This means if they don't Terravore us right now, we're in really good shape. Why not sack the factory to Dust Bowl Caldera? I probably could have. I was thinking about I need to beat a Terravore, so if they're going to crack my Standstill, if I can draw a piece of permission that looks really good, right? But yeah, that probably was the better play. Combat, I probably should be swinging with that. I should have set a stop at the beginning of my combat so I could attack him with Faerie Conclave as well. If we miss this game by 2 points of damage, that's our own fault. Hit you for 4, gain some life, no response. Play out this Ramosian Sergeant. And then how about a Adarkar Wastes? And pass. At some point, I think we're disenchanting this Mox Diamond. Ooh, Barbarian Ring. Red. Is this the biggest devastating dreams ever for X = 1? Oh, sure. So no Sergeant for me, but that's like fine. I'll sacrifice Adarkar Wastes. And now they can't get in with Nimble unless they're willing to sacrifice their Barbarian Ring, which I can just Dust Bowl ahead of time. Yeah, sack here for sure. They're all dead. You still have an Exalted Angel problem, my friend. Attacks are fine. All right, that's not new, right? Nope. Dust Bowl, pop the ring. 1, 2, 3. Sacrifice the plains. You can ring me. What am I thinking? Why would I block this Nimble Mongoose? What am I even talking about? I'll take 3. I'm so fucking zeroed in on like I can fight the Nimble Mongoose. Just leave it in play. Take 3. Duh. Attack you for 8. You're on a 2-turn clock. What's the problem? Untap. Take a draw. STP is fine. Wastes. Man up this one. Man up this one. Combat. Full send. Gain a bunch of life. Do you even play Weathered Wayfarer? I don't think so. Although I think we do. I think it's just fine too. Here's my Weathered Wayfarer. Go ahead. Ramosian Sergeant is so deceptively strong because being both a way to handle a turn 1 lackey and an answer to a Dreadnought by tutoring up Whipcorder. Yeah, that's why the card's very, very good in this deck. Okay, we won game 1 versus this deck. A grindy game 1. We respectively used 11 and 10 minutes of our game, but still pretty good. Okay, what is actually good versus this deck? I think Blue Blast is actually necessary. Not just for their own Red Blast, but for their Lightning Bolts, for their Devastating Dreams, things like that. Is Absolute Law, chat, what do you think about the chat? Lock in. Is Absolute Law good in this matchup? They have Devastating Dreams. They have Bolt. Are those enough reasons to bring in Absolute Law? If you guys do not respond, I'm going to assume you hate me and go into a hole and cry. I think we want Powder Keg. I know we want a Graveyard Hate. Is Hibernation good? I think so. Teferi's response looks good. I think Divert and the rest of these look pretty medium. Now, this is a lot of cards to be bringing in. I think Standstill is probably pretty bad in this matchup if I had to take a guess. Although maybe it's just not. Maybe on the draw it is. The Absolute Law seems good. Okay, cool. Bolt Dreams, they will bring in Class, I think. Yeah. Is Keg that good? Plasm, yeah, I agree that they're going to bring in Pyroclasm. I think Keg is pretty good. The trick is, how am I going to get 9 in? Armageddon's bad. I think my counter magic is like kind of trickily bad. At least a couple of mana leaks can go. They get upgraded into Blue Blasts here. Weathered Wayfarer is actually good on the play, or on the draw rather. Chat, thumbs up, thumbs down. Standstill in this matchup. I know it was good that game, but I can see a lot of games where I get in trouble for having it, especially on the draw, right? Nope, as in take out Standstill. I'm on the side of the fence of Standstill's probably, especially on the draw, not very good. Seems like a trap. Standstill does, I agree. It's nice when it works out game 1, which it did for us, but I think it's a trap potentially. I like Swords, I like Sergeant, I like Wayfarer, I like Disenchant, Whipcorder, Memory Lapse, Meddling. Maybe I can cut like a Mage just to make space, because they're also going to be Pyroclasming, and like it's so easy to name the wrong thing with Mage. All right, I've got 7 that I know I want out. Can I take out like a land? I don't think so. Can I take out like a Sergeant? I don't think so. Maybe I can take out a Sergeant because it's just like super nuked by yeah, we'll do this. 9 for 8. It's close enough. Submit. Let's see, we've got Teferi's response and Swords in the opener, along with Mantra and Exalted Angel. The Mantra is pretty likely to be dead, but playing the game off of the back of trying to resolve Exalted Angel as the main game plan seems quite good. I think we're keeping. Footy Woody, yeah, do whatever you want, buddy. Nimble? Is it Nimble time? Yeah, it's Nimble time. What I said, let me get a 1-1. Well, this is great. That's a perfect top deck. It lets us do anything with our mana right now. Plains, tap it, Weathered Wayfarer, F6. We're on the draw, so they probably have to bolt this right now. Otherwise, I'm just going to like never run out of lands, right? Darigazes, yield. Yeah, you got it. Wait, not yield. Good. Am I yielding? I'm not yielding. Outstanding. Would I Reverent Mantra this Weathered Wayfarer? I mean, they've walked a land back. Probably not, right? Maybe I just save it for like when I play Angel, then I can Reverent Mantra and flip the Angel the following turn. I think that's a better game plan. I actually think that is a better game plan. Since they walked the land back, the Weathered Wayfarer is like very unlikely to ever do the thing. Mulch, yeah. Yeah, that's good. What do we see? What do we see? How many lands? They just lose a Sylvan Library, and they have to go to discard here. That's great. Attack? Would I block here? Deal with a Mongoose? I'm going to block here if they attack, yeah. I'm never going to fall behind on... Well, I guess I have a Flooded Strand. No, I take that back. I've got a Flooded Strand. I'm not doing anything with my mana next turn. Now I'm going to play Flooded Strand pass. Maybe that comes back to bite me in the ass. I imagine they're just going to pitch a land here. It's the forest that I didn't know they had. Okay, good talk. Land go. They're bolting. Do I Mantra? At this point, it seems like a high upside. I need to make sure I'm hitting my land drops. Yeah, I'll Mantra. Cast. Exile. Disenchant. Red. No response. Get got by Mantra twice? Don't do anything? That's crazy. Just pass with all those lands in your hand? Okay. Untap. Draw. Absolute law, boy. Boy, that's so fucking good right now. Holy shit. Get up plains. Tap for 2. Law. Conclave. Go. Nice no land drop, dude. Now I think I'm just like morphing Angel for sure, right? Oh, I guess they can Wasteland me. There goes my Teferi's response plan. Well, now my fucking Wayfarer is just back online though, right? Like it's fine. I guess I knew about this Wasteland. Should have thought about that. I guess my play is the same even with the Wasteland. Do we block this? No, I think we just force them to like keep not playing lands. Yeah, we'll take this one. Red. Cycle. Oh, good thing I didn't block. We'll take this 3. Tormod's Crypt, great top deck. Blue Source, great top deck. They're just refusing to play lands. Ooh, Mishra's Factory, phenomenal top deck. We'll play that, and I guess we're morphing. And then I guess we're attacking as well. Now it's a game of, can I develop my 4th mana source? Because if I can, you're dead. Like, they probably have another Wasteland by this point, right? Attack. I take 3. Why not fetch for Island? That way you can play Conclave next turn with Teferi's backup. It was kind of short-sighted. I was concerned with double white very specifically. And now I'm kind of glad I have it, because if I got Island, I couldn't flip this morph. But I could have Teferi's response. So hindsight being 2020, that was actually not the greatest play I've ever made. Land off the top. Easy peasy. Beautiful cover girl. I guess not. So now I guess we're just getting in. Like, we're not blocking. We ain't doing shit. So I guess we just get in. Maybe it was a mistake. Maybe I should have planned to block with the factory. We'll play a Wayfarer. Block with the factory to turn Wayfarers on, but now that's going to be available to us next turn. So just go. This is a game where I'm sure I can already like smell a couple mistakes I've made, and they might snowball into a loss. But if I was responsible Joseph, I'd feel like a fucking genius. Yeah, cycle forgotten case, fine. Responsible Joseph, by the way, the architect and primarily pilot that does the numbers with this deck. Bolt me. Yeah, for sure, dude. Continue. Wasteland. Yeah, that's a bummer, but it happens. That's not good for us. 2. Wait, is this a Devastating Dreams? This seems like a bad move for them. Okay, they dreams. For sure. Your Mongoose takes 2, so I can block it with my Wayfarer and it dies. Wait, why didn't... Oh, all creatures have pro red. That is not how that works. So we just take 3. All right, end step, my turn. All right, so now we just chill. What did they pitch? Did they pitch City? They did. They pitch Mine. There's still a Mine in their hand. Combat. Yeah, I'll block with 2. 1, 2. Second Mongoose fucks me up real good. No second Mongoose. All right, well, now I guess we're chilling. We'll attack for 1. Yield through. Please no Werebear. Please no Werebear. Wife on me, no Werebear. Werebear's here. That's unfortunate. Mox Diamond. Unfortunate. Are we taking 4 here? I guess we are. And then we just draw White Source and simply Swords the Werebear and be fine. Unless they have Lightning Bolt number 3. Yeah, we got to take it here. I wonder if they have a Terravor, they're probably just supposed to cast that. Unless they have land Terravor, right? Then that's pretty bad for us. Dismiss this. I go to 1. It hurts. If I draw a fetch land, I'm going to be fine, actually, because I got a diamond. Damage. Ouch. Red. Bolt me. Damn, son. Yeah, that's pretty good. All right. Game 3. We've managed to get ahead on clock, so we should use that going forward. Now, okay, chat, new question. Is Standstill better on the play? Like, is Standstill good enough on the play that I want it? I think I can trim a Weathered Wayfarer to get back down to 60. These are grindy games very much. I think I need to insist upon my plan, so maybe Hibernation comes out as well. I can leave 1 in my deck, but I don't want to have too many of that card. Because if I get like overdrawn, I'll just have like air in my hand for the whole game. And maybe, yeah, chat, what do you think? Standstill on the play in some number, or continue to not have them in our deck? With diamonds, there are some good Standstill openers. I agree. On the play, worth it to run Standstill? I think I agree with that. Let's go. Maybe I'm not super interested. No, I'm pretty interested in Disenchant. You know what? Am I going to take out Mantra? It's actually so good in this matchup. Here's one Standstill back in. Take out the Teferi's response, you think? Feels strong. What if I simply go back to 61? Ship it. Call it. We're doing it. All right, I would like to play first. This hand is so-so. It gets absolutely destroyed by Wasteland. And if they open on Mongoose, I can't even develop the Standstill. Chat, I'm not crazy. This is just a mulligan, right? Or are my factories good enough? Okay, keep it as a Standstill hand. Multiple factories. Hope they don't have multiple Wastelands, I guess. That means we lead on factory so we can protect our colored sources, right? What are the chances they have 2 Wastelands? Seems pretty low. Land, go. Wooded Footed. That's not a Wasteland. All right, time for the Red Blast check, because I'm going for it. Draw. Ooh, Mox Diamond. Not yet. Wait, maybe yet? I think the factories are better than the diamond under a Standstill, right? Yeah. Yield through turn, or if they counter this, do I play a diamond? All right, pass the turn. Happy Jutsu, no. Do you think I was supposed to play the diamond? I think that my factories, especially if they have a single Wasteland, this looks bad. But with 2 factories, it looks like my Standstill has a much higher chance of doing the thing. Just wait, IMO, on what? The diamond or the Standstill? You think we're waiting on Standstill for real? Do nothing? I have nothing else to do with my mana. What? Why? That I need explained to me. Forest for sure. I don't think you keep this hand if you're not planning on turn 2 Standstill. Right, that's my thought too. All right, I draw a bunch of cards off Standstill. That worked out well. And you have a diamond that I might even be interested in disenchanting, depending. Caldera goes to the bin, tap for 2, 3. What costs 3? Call of the Turd? For sure, that's fine. So now it's what? Meddling Mage name Call of the Herd plus other thing? Conclave. Okay, I think we play diamond for sure. Diamond cast. I think the Faerie Conclave might secretly be a good way for us to get in. But having this many Mishra's factories also looks pretty good. I think we'll get rid of the Conclave. And then do we play another factory? I don't think so. I think we play Adarkar Wastes in this spot. Meddling Mage naming Call of the Herd, Swords the Elephant. It's either Meddling Mage naming Call of the Herd, Swords the Elephant, or Morph Exalted Angel, Swords the Elephant. But that opens us up to Bolt. I think we're trying to hardcast this Exalted Angel, which is like scary under Devastating Dreams. No, I think it's Meddling Mage name Call of the Herd, Disenchant Mox Diamond. I think that's actually the play. Mythic Common just said the same thing, yeah. So Adarkar Wastes, colorless into blue-white, Meddling Mage, we get to name Call of the Herd, and then we disenchant their diamond for a white and a colorless, and then we yield through the turn. Our best top deck next turn is actually a second diamond, so we can just windmill slam the Exalted Angel and just start a clock. Just start an absolute fucking clock. P-Duels, love that you're picking up Call of the Turd from Billy. Funniest slight change of a card name, yeah. Billy left an impression on me. He was a really cool hang. I will be on I'll be on Hardcast soon. So if you're interested in that, go check out Hardcast. Another Standstill would be quite good. I agree. Forgotten Cave, tap for 2. What is it, a Werebear? It's a Werebear. You're not thresholded, so I'm not actually concerned with that just yet. On tap, draw. Do we want a basic or factory? I think being able to pump factory is a huge boon here. I think we're doing nothing else, right? Like we can, I guess, attack with Meddling Mage. Yeah, I think we're winning this game via race. So yeah, we'll attack with the Meddling Mage. Do we want to just deal with the Werebear now, I wonder? No, because I guess a Terravore would only be a 3/3. But the Terravore is going to be infinitely spookier. What can they do for 4 mana that I'm actually worried about? Because the Bolt the Bird argument is definitely a part of the situation we're in. Chat, do we Bolt the Bird? This is Chat Plays Magic. Their dorks are powerful, I'd kill it. I kind of agree. I'm a little bit worried about a Terravore, but also that thing lets them cast the Terravore. So let's STP and then just pass. And if they can't blow up a land, we'll just Exalted Angel and hope that's enough. Scare the bear. Not as catchy, but effective. What software is this? This is Magic the Gathering Online. Bruh. It really helps their dreams be effective. True. Declare attacks. Am I doing big Mishra's Factory block? They're not even giving me the opportunity. Okay. Next turn. Untap draw. It is time to play Exalted Angel. What do we think about this opponent? You got a plummet? Go. Oh, you didn't know. So you must be a newer Magic player. This is the old way to play Magic. It's still very popular. On Magic Online, you actually own the cards. You can buy and sell them with real money. I think it's a better way to play Magic, but albeit a more visually atrocious way. Arena does, I think, aesthetically look cleaner and better, but it's also a little bit noisy. It kind of reminds me of like a kid's mobile game. This is one of the reasons I stopped playing it. Also, I don't like the formats in Arena, but no shade. Arena is actually awesome for people who are doing it. If this is a Dreams, they can't kill the Angel with it, which is really, really cool. They lack the card equity. Then I simply untap with Memory Lapse and the game's over. Yeah, they Dreams for 4. Okay, what lands are we keeping? Just Plains Mox Diamond. Oh, they Lava Dart. That's so good. So, okay, no response. No response. That's really insane what they just did. So I think I'm now racing. So I will sacrifice 1, 2, 3, 4. Now it's just a race. They're hellbent. Yeah, I think I still like this spot. They do have 3 Call of the Herds in their bin, which is really lame because we're losing a Meddling Mage on Call of the Herd. But they need to draw land before they can do anything. That was a sick play, though. I thought we had just won the game, but this gives them something resembling a chance. Well, your PC will be able to run this. Be aware not to leave the client open when you aren't using it. Seems to memory leak pretty hard. This client memory leaks very, very hard. So like between leagues, restart your, don't restart your computer. That's not necessary, but restart Magic the Gathering Online. Just close it down, open it back up. It takes a second to start, unfortunately, because it has to connect to the client and everything, but that's like, okay. Okay, any order. All right, untap Dust Bowl. Let's activate this factory. Let's play this factory. Let's pump that factory. We're on a different plan now. Combat, attack, yield. Then we're going to play Dust Bowl and start attacking with 2 factories if they miss their land drop. No, they're just passing. They're in hard F6 mode. All right, Dust Bowl, activate this. I probably should have played that Mox Diamond. Oh, well. Activate this factory. Cancel. Activate. Tap. Boom. Activate. Tap. Boom. Combat. Full send. And you may go. Gemstone Mine, for sure, for sure. Declare attackers. End step. My turn. I don't think you have a bolt, but I'm not going to risk it. Activate factory. Combat. Attack for 2. Pump it. Damage. So they don't have a bolt now. If we draw a land, we can put them on the 2-turn clock. Land off the top. Land off the top. Ooh, just Exalted Angel? I mean, I guess this just does it, right? Morph this face down. Pass. Memory Lapse. Relevant spell. Ooh, another land. Little Barbering. Ooh, Barbering. That actually kills my morph. But they lose like all of their mana. So whatever. That's like actually fine. All right, yield through turn. Blue Blast is so sick here. Activate. Activate. Combat. Full send. You may go. That Devastating Dreams play was so cool. Like, they're dead anyway, but like this gave them a really good chance to try to win the game. All right, 3-2 with this deck. Not a bad rate considering when I edit this, I'm going to find all the ways I misplayed and like maybe I could have gone 4-1. I think at least one of those games was truly unwinnable, but we'll see. This deck, seriously, Responsible Joseph, find this video, get at me. I'm Shroom in Discord. You can find me on Twitter, super easy. Reach out. I'd love to pick your brain about this deck. Would I make any changes? There's a couple I'm thinking about. I wonder if Serenity, because I think one of the big matchups that you're bringing this in against is going to be exactly Enchantress. I wonder if that 3 mana Cleansing Meditation would be any better. Just because it doesn't involve having to sit and play for a turn, so it gets Seal of Cleansing. So that's a change I would think about. I don't know where I would take a card out, but I could also see a 3rd piece of Graveyard Hate. I actually love the Divert. It's really good against Stifle Knot, but I wonder if we need extra cards against Stifle Knot, and maybe the Divert could be like some type of a situational Wrath or something, who knows. The rest of the cards seem pretty good. The main board seems very, very well tuned. The mana bases continue to impress me. Memory Lapse is actually so good with Meddling Mage that I don't think you can cut it. This deck is very sweet. There's going to be more content on this deck because I love playing it, but for now, that's all I have for you. So thank you so much for watching. As always, I'll see you next time.